Breaking right now at 3, we're monitoring 2 fires burning as winds pick up here in Southern California. The first major fire is the Springs Fire burning in Moreno Valley. That's what you're looking at right there on your screen. It exploded to 1,500 acres and has forced evacuations. NBC4's Julia Dang is live for us at News Chopper 4. Julia. Julia, can you hear us? Okay. All right. We are having some problems with Julia. We will talk to her. Okay.
If you can hear me, we unfortunately don't have audio up here, but if you can see this video, we're flying about 6,000 feet above the Springs fire. This started just a couple hours ago this morning. It has exploded. CAL FIRE said in an update about 10 minutes ago, 1,500 acres are now burning. And you can see from this video, this is 0% contained. Now, we are hovering just east of the front edge of this fire. You can see flames here. They have about 100 firefighters from a number of different agencies, the state, the county, and various cities fighting this on the ground and up here in the air. As I widen back out, you might be able to see some of the aerial resources here. They have tankers, they have helicopters, and again, this is burning uncontrolled. 0% containment at last check. Now, the good news is, even though those numbers are really astounding, 1,500 acres at the moment, this area is largely unpopulated. Homes out here to the west, they have not been threatened just yet. We have not confirmed any structures involved in this fire, but 3 different areas in this region, in the Moreno Valley, south of the 60 freeway and east of the 215, have now been evacuated. We have details on those evacuation orders on NBCLA.com, and we do know that there is a shelter area now being set up at Valley View High School. We've got that address and additional information on our website and on the NBC4 app. If you are anywhere in this area near Gilman Springs Road where this fire started, you can tell from this video you probably want to get out of here as soon as you possibly can. No injuries reported at this hour, but we're going to keep eyes on this from News Chopper 4. Back to you.
All right, our thanks to Julia there. We want to bring in Riverside County Fire Public Safety Specialist Terry Fernandez joining us over the phone here. Terry, thank you so much for being with us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So we just heard our News Chopper 4 there, Julia Dang, saying that we are currently at 0% containment here. Is that still the case?
That is correct, yes. They're mapping the fire ongoing. As soon as we get a containment, we will be updating all of our social medias.
Talk to us about some of the challenges. I mean, we're seeing that plume of smoke. We see the fire below that, going up that hill.
Yes, the winds and the uphill rocky terrain and topography is making it quite difficult for the hand crews and the firefighters on scene to battle the blaze. They are attacking this from all angles. We have multiple resources, air and ground, on scene battling and working tirelessly and as hard as possible to mitigate this fire threat.
Terry, what's the concern at this moment? I know it's an all-hands-on-deck situation. What's the concern as we go into the night here?
The major concern is the significant winds and the shifting of the winds. That alters the fire behavior drastically. It can make it unpredictable. The other concern is citizens coming in and out of the area. We advise that they avoid the area as there's heavy equipment and resources working, so that way our firefighters and our ground personnel and crews can make it in and out safely.
Let's talk about the strategy as the day goes on.
So their main strategy is using water and retardant from the air, mapping to check the fire behavior so that they can get a good idea of how to attack it from the ground, which areas to go based on fire behavior, putting as many resources as possible so that we can get ahead of this before the wind continues to take off with it.
1,500 acres as of right now, and we're seeing that big plume of smoke just hovering over that area. There is a lot of concern about the air quality. What's the recommendation here for people who live in that vicinity?
Yes, correct. So the recommendation is to stay indoors, put your air conditioning units on, make sure your filters are good to go, keep all your windows closed, try to avoid going outside as much as possible, especially if you have any kind of breathing concerns or asthma. It's really important to make sure that you have your go bags ready to go with water, food, your medications, and essentials just in case you're impacted in the evacuation order or warning area. And just like I mentioned before, with the wind and fire behavior, it can change at any moment. So it's good that you are ready to go at any moment's notice.
All right, Terry Fernandez with the Riverside County Fire Department, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
All right. Want to get out to our Christian Cáceres, who is on the ground in Moreno Valley. Christian, I see the plume behind you right now. Are you smelling also that smoke?
Annabelle, you can't really smell the smoke because of the heavy wind here in this area, but we do want to give you that ground view from this fire. And I want to show you the burned area out in the distance. That is where CAL FIRE believes this all started. That's off of Gilman Springs Road, and you can see all that area that is burned. But because of those strong winds that we just heard from CAL FIRE, that is the big challenge here, because as you can see, all that wind is pushing the fire, all that smoke just across this area here. Now we're on Gilman Springs Road and Alessandro Boulevard, and just check out all that smoke here out in the far distance as crews, they continue to do what they can to gain the upper hand. Right now the fire, as we heard, standing at about 1,500 acres and 0% containment. Now the good news here is that most of this area is rural, meaning no homes, no businesses, but over Mount Russell, that is where you start seeing some of the communities there on the other side. Now, because this is such a wide open area, CAL FIRE tells me they have a heavy load of resources both on the ground and in the air. You can probably see a couple of the helicopters out in the far distance there. We know that more than 260 firefighters from all over the area, including Hemet, Pachanga, and also Morongo, are helping CAL FIRE Riverside County right now with this fire. We're talking about 36 engines and also a handful of air tankers, helicopters that will be here for the next several hours. Now, as we heard also, there are 2 shelters that have been set up. The first one is over at Valley View High School in Moreno Valley, and the other one is over on Grand and 7th in San Jacinto. We're told both of those locations are open for families and also for their pets, because we understand there's a lot of communities out here that have a lot of animals, especially those large animals. So you might want to check in first with some of those shelters to make sure that they can accommodate you with whatever type of a pet that you might have. But we should also mention several road closures here in the area, including Gilman Springs. Basically, this is giving crews the space to help them hopefully get the upper hand on this fire. But as you can see, that fire is really moving west of where we are, and you can really see the wind pushing all that smoke over. And of course, we're going to stay here and keep monitoring this situation. But the latest that we were told from CAL FIRE is that they're going to be here for several hours. They want to make sure that everything is out and make sure that the winds don't spark anything back up again. That's the very latest from Moreno Valley. I'll send it back to you, Annabelle, in the studio.
All right, and again, 1,500 acres, as you see right there behind Christian, burning, and again, 0% contained. So we're also monitoring a wind-driven brush fire burning in Acton, and we want to show you a live picture from the scene. We don't have it. Okay. All right, we are going to go up to News Chopper 4 to give us that aerial shot there. It was first reported just before 11:30 this morning at Crown Valley and Soledad Canyon roads. Nearly 300 acres have burned so far. News Chopper 4 was overhead earlier this afternoon, so these are earlier images that you're seeing right now. Firefighters tell us buildings are threatened and evacuation orders are in place. These fires come as Santa Ana winds move through Southern California. NBC4 meteorologist David Bigger is tracking these conditions. You know, David, we see wind-driven fires and, of course, instantly think of the Palisades fire and, of course, the Eaton fires. Could we see stronger winds tonight?
I think the winds have already reached their peak. We're likely looking at the intensities coming down a little bit for the rest of the evening. We will have more Santa Ana winds, though, for tomorrow, maybe not as strong as today. I wanted to give you a look at the conditions around the Springs fire. You can see most of the observation sites reporting sustained winds of 15 to 25 miles an hour with some stronger gusts. Also, look at the humidity, all down into the teens, except except for around March Air Reserve Base. That's 9% humidity. Right here, this is Lake Paris. The fire is burning over in this direction, but the wind is blowing the smoke this way. So if we take a camera in the Lake Paris area right here, you can see just how poor the air quality looks. And another way you can track the smoke is from radar. This is a loop over the past 2 hours. You see the smoke has been blowing down into the Paris area and down into Lake Elsinore as well. So if you're anywhere in this area, if you're smelling smoke, make sure to close your windows, run your AC. And if you have to go outside, make sure you're wearing an N95 mask to get rid of those small particulates. The other fire we're talking about is a Crown Fire. You can see Soledad Canyon Road right here. Here's the 14. Here's Acton. Looking at sustained winds, 22 miles an hour, been gusting up into the 30-mile-per-hour range. As I mentioned, the winds will continue into tomorrow, just maybe not as intense. I'll have details on that coming up in a couple of minutes.